morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be back here with ETOA and to share some of the research that we're doing at Bournemouth University. We are always looking on the eTourism Lab, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen in the next 10 years? And it's all about looking into the innovations that are coming into tourism and technology that will enable us to take everything forward. So I was asked to look a little bit about the consumers. But before I do that, I'd like to share with you a little bit about the current research that we're doing on disruptive innovations and smart tourism. And this is what occupies quite a lot of my time. So having a definition on disruptive innovations, it's all about the innovation that creates new markets and value networks that eventually disrupt the existing market and value network, displacing established market leading firms, products, and alliances. This is critical because tourism will not be as we know it. Tourism will be a very different marketplace in the future, and technology is making sure that a lot of these things are happening. So this is a range of different disruptive technologies, and on this side is more information technologies like mobile internet, automation of knowledge work, Internet of Things, cloud technology, advanced robotics, and autonomous vehicles that are going to be driving a lot of the things that will be shaping the future of the industry in the future. When you are looking into the new technologies that are emerging and when they're going to have an impact, this is really what we are concentrating on, because this is really the things that are going to change the way we do things in the future. So virtual reality and augmented reality, enterprise taxonomy and ontology management, natural language, these are some of the things that are coming forward that they're going to change the way we operate. Why are those critical? Because so far, most of us, we're on a mobile phone or a computer, and we're searching for information. What the future shows is that the information will find us before we search for it. And that's the most critical aspect. The technology will know us better than we know what to look for. Because if you really think about it, when you start looking for information, you've got a structure in your mind, but quite often your needs are going long time before that. I was recently in South Africa a couple of weeks ago, and my cousin picked me up from the airport, and we're going to a safari somewhere in north of Pretoria. And what happened is that he was looking into his Google Maps, and his Google Maps had picked up one of the emails I've sent to him, informing him about my flights, and Google was integrating all this information for him. He was saying, the flight has arrived at that time, your estimated time to arrive to Mabula Safari launch is 2.5 hours later. So technology was predicting before us what will happen. All that is supported by smart cities and intelligent nations that are coming through smart technologies. And smart technologies is about smart business, smart living, smart education, smart citizens, smart government, smart infrastructure, smart utility, smart mobility, and smart environment. A new environment is emerging, and that environment we will address our needs proactively and reactively. It will constantly look for information and will constantly come forward with solutions and value for us. This is changing a whole range of things in e-tourism and tourism. First of all, it's consumer centricity and profile portability, so we'll understand who each individual is, what are their constraints, what they would like to do, and how they're engaging with the environment. It will be real time and service of now, so the machine will collect information currently and will tell you what's happening. I'm flying tonight to Colombia, so I'm on the 22:40 flight out to Bogota with Avianca. Now, I should know about 11 hours before whether the flight will be on time or not, because we know what time the Avianca flight will land at Heathrow, right? Right now, I can find all this information manually and it takes a lot of time. What the technology is going to do is will pull all this information automatically based on the logic that we have. So the technology will know that the inbound flight will be 11 hours before. It will know when it left Bogota airport to arrive to Heathrow, and will inform me whether the flight is on time or not. Let's assume that the flight is 4 hours late. What happens next? Let's hope that it's not the case, okay? But what happens next? Technology should say, you've got another 4 hours, enjoy dinner in London, don't wait at Heathrow for 4 hours. Yeah? You've checked in already, we know that we are in touch, this is what's happening. We are going to that kind of level of interactivity and interaction. Then reputation, social media, and brand strategy is quite critical. Anybody who followed the story about Monarch over the weekend? Okay? You see where reputation, social media is absolutely critical. And again, I had a lot of friends who are flying out with Monarch, and they were calling me and said, tell me what you know. I said, I know nothing, other than Richard, what's his name from CNN, Richard Quest started getting very excited about it, and he started talking to Monarch, and Monarch said, okay. So if anybody says okay to Richard, that will be fine. Then you've got something that we call SOCOMO marketing, social media context-based and mobile marketing. This is your location-based marketing, it's a lot of those things. We're doing a lot of research on this. Come and speak to us if you are interested in this. And then augmented reality is my very keen kind of interest, because what's going to happen is that we're going to see all this information in front of us, and remember, we are not going to look for information, information will be looking for us, so all of those things will be coming forward. I was asked to look into consumers, and I don't want to give you a lot of text because I don't have the time, but consumer is changing rapidly. I'll play some pictures so you'll understand immediately what I say at no time. First of all, we went from this to that. Now, I've got a lot of people who are saying, you are so antisocial, you're always looking at your mobile. I said, okay, before we're antisocial by looking to the big newspaper. Kids are playing outside, very different ways. This is a family time. Sad, not sad. Depends how you see these things, right? It's connectivity. I know a couple of families that have got this machine that they're using in theaters, that they switch off and they block all the mobiles and everything, and at least they do it at dinner time. This is your dinner experience. The more you go towards Asia, the more you understand that people first eat with their mobile phones, then the food gets cold, then they eat the food, and then goes on. This is the inauguration of the Pope in 2005, the inauguration of the Pope in 2013. Spot the difference. This is what we call co-creation and sharing. Both people are praying, but they are praying in a very different way. These guys, they pray for themselves, but they pray with everybody else. Right? Mona Lisa. How do we experience tourism? And how do we experience travel? And how do we experience culture and art? Has changed dramatically. And this is Hillary Clinton yesterday. I don't know if turning her back. It's hey, this is proactive technology. That's fine. I haven't finished yet. Right? Airbnb is taking over the world, and it's obvious. Yeah. Paul mentioned Pokemon. This guy ended up in operating theater, following. I play in Pool Harbor for about 20 minutes because I had to understand what was happening. I was almost run down by a couple of cars, and there were another 50 people who are going like that, totally ignoring the reality around them. But this is the new reality. The new reality is that people will be coming to your hotel, and I mean, we're doing a lot of work on gamification as well, and this is the best example of gamification. I can excite people to go to castles, cultural heritage places, and stuff like that would have never gone before, just following Pokemon. It's really about how do you make it clever? Hi, sweetie. How was school today? You can read all on my blog, Dad. Maslow theory, yeah? Priorities. And would like to broadcast absolutely everything. We're doing a lot of research, and this research shows on how technology is used to create experience. There are a lot of kind of things. This is the area where you don't have any technology. It's the yellow umbrella followers going around. But we see a whole range of new services that they create incredibly emotional experiences, that they're using very high interactive, immersive, and pervasive technologies to empower those experiences. I think the future will be on augmented reality because we'll be able to see a lot of things on top of what's happening. We will experience a lot of things. We will stream live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and the other one which I'm not allowed to use because I'm too old, Snapchat. Yeah, I'm not allowed to use it. I'm too old. But what's going to happen is that we are not going to experience ourselves, but we're going to show the world at the same time. We'll understand everything through the screen of our mobile phone. Now, the next stage is going to be on our glasses or on special glasses, because this is quite intrusive. If you do that in Rio de Janeiro, in Johannesburg, or any other, even in London, quite often you're losing the phone in your hand. So it needs to be manual. At the same time, we're all stuck on our phones, and there's a digital addiction, and there's a movement towards detoxing from technology, and some new challenges, like the Duke of Edinburgh challenge. That's the final test is that you must walk the length of the high street without your mobile, or with your mobile switch off. Can you do that? How long can you? I think 8 minutes is my time. 8 minutes, it's the maximum time I can sit without looking at my screen, and I've tested that. I think we're going to be going to places like device and technology-free zones, which will enable us to switch off a little bit. I hate that, but occasionally it's good. That's my dream, so hey, dream with me. Thank you.